So after a long freezing period of snow and ice and extremely cold weather, I managed to get out dowsing again. And I went out to Osterpovica, which is just around the corner from where I live, just outside of Brno, where you see that number 1 on the route of Hitler's highway from Vienna to Wroclaw in Poland. And I'd heard of Hitler's highway, but I'd never actually seen any of it. And dowsing this pair of Type 4 lines, this weekend I came across this bridge, unfinished, in the middle of nowhere, on the side of a hill. And look at that stonework. Look at it. And this was built during the Second World War. So this is already, what, 80, 90 years old? Apparently, it was to be a bridge with a local road running through it. Neither Hitler's road nor the local road seem to exist anymore, if the local road ever existed at all. And of course the structure, this archaeological structure, has become the canvas for the local graffiti artists, some of which isn't bad, but this is an archaeological site and really ought to be better protected, in my opinion, than this. I spent some time examining this bridge in the middle of nowhere. And it's funny because I'd often heard people locally talking about Hitler's highway, but I'd never actually seen any evidence of it. Apparently one of the roads is built along the route of this highway locally, but only for a short distance. I tracked the lines, they passed just behind that structure. And as I crossed this hill, it gave you some wonderful views of Brno. I'm stood in the line now, looking across into Brno, and now in the opposite direction on the other side of the hill, looking towards Trubsko, which has a major vortex on a hilltop with Trubsko Church and is well worth visiting. In fact, there is Trubsko Church, and that's a vortex of at least 2 Type 4 lines, maybe 3 Type 4 lines. Have yet to complete the gap between where I'm stood and more or less the church itself, but I can extrapolate based on the evidence collected so far. One of the lines then passes through the church into the hills in the background, passing through what would have been a local zamek or castle. It was a beautiful afternoon, and I'm glad I managed finally to get to do some dowsing. I was itching to get out, and it gave me a lot of energy and good feeling. And again, as I walked back to the car, I found another piece of Hitler's highway. I was amazed that these pieces of this highway were there, within a few kilometres of my home. I'd never seen them, didn't know they existed, and if I hadn't been following this line, I would never have found them. Again, these were covered in graffiti, but nonetheless, given the age of the structure, in really good condition. These were obviously built to last. I'm not sure who actually did the construction work, but if information about some of the other highways that the Nazis built in this area is anything to go by, they were probably forced labour. So there's a certain sadness, I guess, associated with these archaeological structures in the middle of nowhere, built by semi-slaves at the behest of Hitler. Here again is Trubsko Church on a little hill. I reckon this was previously a pagan site. And hopefully now the weather's changed, I'll be out again dowsing soon. Please do like and share if you enjoyed this video. Thank you.